Today we are going to create the perfect loop inside of this spiraling donut color changing thingy. So let's just jump into it. So here we are inside Blender. I think we just delete everything that we have here. To do this kind of spiraling donut, you would have to go into preferences and type in extra. There we go, add curve, extra objects. This is what you need. So click that one, it's default. And Shift A, we need to put something into here. So curve, knots, torus knot. Wow, that's not what we need. So go into expand this and go and do, is it braided coil? No, it's not. Just find this, it's slinky knot. This is the one. So we got a lot of crazy colors on this torus knot. So let's remove them. Go object mode and just start clicking the minus. Get it all the way. We don't want you. We want to create a new material here. And we'll do something cool with this. But firstly, I would like to change the renderer to cycles, GPU, compute. Yeah, we can change the other things here later. Now get back to the material. You don't need to use this, but it's okay. And now we do a mix shader. If we want to mix the normal principle BSDF, we want to do the transmission. We want to have some glass here and put the roughness down. Mix shader, we want another mix shader. We want these translucent shader on the top here. Sorry about that. And we want this into the bottom. And we also want this to be kind of radioactive-ish. So we want an emission shader here. The color, you can pick whatever you want. I like this peach-ish color. Do that. To make it loop, we have to do a hue saturation node here because we want to animate the hue. We want it to go around. I can show you the principle here is that you start by 0 and you go all round, completely around back to the hue that you had, and then it will loop perfectly around when you do this. But it's not easy in the emission node. And what else do we want? We want our color ramp, so we are able to control this one, and we want a layer weight. And there we go. We got something cool. Let's go into the render view. We can tweak it a little bit. How do we want to tweak this? I don't know. Maybe we can do some color here. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. It's not easy sometimes, you know. Maybe we go for this kind of color. You see, I pick yellow here, and the hue is controlled 0 to 1, so we can go one round completely. What else do we do now? We need to have a camera, and we need to go make it go around here. So let's get back to the layout mode. Press Shift A and put the camera in. Now we got the camera. Let's scale it down a little bit. And maybe we should kind of 90 degrees on the X so it looks straight on. No funky rotation here. Go to the top view, press Shift A, curve, and we want a circle. We want this ball to follow the circle. No, the camera to follow the circle, of course. So let's add this curve. edit mode we are in, we need to go to object mode again, and we need to press the camera here, and we need to go add object constraint follow path. Target is the circle. Let's see. Look at this, it's beautiful. So let's set it back to 0. Where is the, wow, I don't know why it does this, but it's in the middle, and now it wants to be some degrees outside of the Y. So let's try to fix this if we can. Can we fix this? Y, X. It's so, I don't know what happened here, but we will have to live with it. So let's see what the camera is looking at, and let's rotate the set here. Let's see how do we like it. We need to actually, I think a wider angle is better here, maybe 20. I think that looks good. Let's rotate a little bit this way, maybe 50 degrees. And what we have to do now, this is the starting frame. So let's bring this up a bit, the timeline. Frame 1, we would like to do the location, and we don't need to do the location, we only need to do the rotation. So press the rotation on this frame. How many frames do we want really? I think 120 at 24 frames per second, so we are at 5 seconds. Go to frame 121, and then we are going one round 360 degrees, and we are going this way. So we need to do 50 minus 360. And we press I again, and there we have it. And now we got some crazy things going on, but you get the idea. Now it actually is turning around. But can we look at this? Now it's just going around, but it looks in the view that we are actually moving. But we are not yet. Now we need to animate this one keyframe. So press I, and then we go to 121. How much do we want? We want a complete rotation, so it's 1. You have to check this fixed position, or else it will go on and on and on and on, and it's really hard to actually match. If it's fixed position, you will have 1 to 0, now 0 to 1, and that will be a whole rotation, so it's easy to animate. Okay, so let's look at the camera move here now. Boo, 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 boo. It's going nicely around, and it loops. So let's go to the camera view. This looks perfect. Now it goes backwards, but does it matter? No, not really. How is it looking in the rendered view? I think it looks good here as well. What I would like to do now is actually fix this, because I think it's too big gaps here. So I want to add a solidify modifier to the donut. So let's see, this is up to your own choosing how much you want. I actually think this looks good. There is no background to be seen, and you get some nice things going on here. And what else do? We want to shade it smooth, and I want to add a subdivision surface, because I want this to be completely round. And when you press this, your computer goes crazy. So I had to jump a bit, because I couldn't find how to remove the fill in the curve circle. But it's here under this curve or what's it called? Object data properties. Okay. And then it's fill mode, and then it's none. Then it's just the curve. No plane here, or face, sorry. And this is doing exactly what we want. We will now continue to animate the color of it. So go back to the shading. I will close this one and I will change this to timeline. And oops, no, I don't want to do anything. Okay, guess I have to anyway. Timeline, and go to the hue. We press I on frame 1 and we move to frame 121 and we go to 1 and we press I again. Now we can have a look how the color is changing. It's beautiful, isn't it? I also think it looks pretty good if you do this kind of you can duplicate these and do a lot of crazy things, maybe make those turn around also, but you can see, wow, yeah, you can see it's a rendered view, so it's slow, but you can see it changes color, and you can actually fix here which starting color you would want and tweak it as you want it. Saturation you can bump up. So that's looking good, and now the only thing is actually to render it. And we will do some settings here. I like to do performance and 256 pixels because that's some optimal for the RTX graphic card. And you want to go to color management and high contrast I like. You can also tweak this in Premiere Pro if you want. So just whatever you prefer you should do. And motion blur I think is mandatory for all kind of movement. It's the 180-degree shutter rule, or 0.5 here because it's 180 degrees is half a turn, so it's 0.5, so it's on the correct kind of motion blur shutter angle. What else do we want to tweak? Output. Yes, I like to do the animation in PNG or separate PNG pictures and put them into Premiere Pro afterwards to make the animation. So if anything happens on frame 70 and your computer dies, you can actually continue. You can just set this as start at 71 and continue. You won't lose all your work if your PC crashes. So that is basically it. The sample rate, you can do whatever you want with. Composition you can do, I think it looks good as it is now, just this straight plain animation. You can add some lights, you can add some volume here if you want. Experiment with it. That's what I do with other tutorials. I take the basics and then I try to build on that. So I hope you do as well. And I hope you found this video useful and maybe showed you a thing that you didn't know in Blender. So thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.